Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. I want to talk about the LSU Tigers here. LSU had a great offense this past year, but a large part of that was Jaden Daniels, also the receivers, like Malik Neighbors and among others. I didn't really pay much attention to LSU, so I didn't really care this past year until they played Florida State and Alabama. I won money in both of their losses. But I think LSU is going to take a huge step forward defensively. Brian Kelly, he might have never won a major game in terms of postseasons or national championship, but he's always had solid, good teams at Notre Dame. He's also, for the most part of his career, had a great defense at Notre Dame. At some point, that's going to translate at LSU. I think they made a great hire with Brian Kelly, okay? I'm not saying he's not a good hire. He probably will win a national championship with LSU. It can be this year, so let's talk about it. This is their only loss of the year at USC. Now, look, they have a lot of talent. Both teams are loaded with talent. Only reason I'm going with USC is because I think the home field advantage up north for USC will be too much for LSU to overcome. Brian Kelly has dropped back-to-back opening season openers at LSU. Make it a third loss in a row. Give me the Trojans. I don't think USC is really better, but sometimes that helps, if that makes sense. You know, the home team. Not home, but when you're closer to home, the distance being traveled, that really helps the home team, or the team that's closer to home. From here on, this is the rest of it. Nicholas State and at South Carolina. Nicholas State, no problem, 55-0. I think they flex their muscles offensively more. They run the football really well. The defense dominates. By the way, if I didn't say the score right, I apologize. I think they lose to USC 38-31. USC's offense is explosive, so people are probably going to say, well, LSU's defense isn't much better. Well, you won't be able to tell because USC, for the most part, puts up points on just about everybody. So people are going to say LSU's defense is not very good, but listen to the rest of the schedule. I'll tell you why, especially throughout the year. Usually Brian Kelly's LSU teams have shown to improve throughout the year. At South Carolina, I think they win this game, but listen to the score, 28-21. They don't have Jaden Daniels anymore. They have Nussmeier at quarterback, whatever his name is. He has a really good arm, but he's not Jaden Daniels. I think LSU's defense steps up and wins this game. I think South Carolina's going to have the ball at some point late in the game, and they won't be able to score. LSU's defense will grow up from here on out, and that will be a huge moment. And this could be a night game. I'm not sure yet. But South Carolina can be a very tough place to play unless you're Clemson. Clemson has beaten them there every year. But they should beat South Carolina. I think they have a talent advantage. Brian Kelly will probably, since he's coached a lot longer, I think he'll be a better coach than Shane Beamer. Not a knock against Beamer, but that's just how I feel. And then they take on UCLA. This will be a revenge game from a few years ago. They lost this game. They win this game big, 42-21. UCLA lost their head coach. They lost their defensive coordinator. He's actually at USC now. So give me LSU to win big and pull away. Then they take on South Alabama. No problem there, 48-7. I think they get a huge revenge win over Ole Miss here. And I think, once again, the defense will step up and make a few big plays to help their team win this game, 45-34. Jackson Dart is there. Judkins is gone. Ole Miss and LSU both have something in common. Their defense has let them down in their losses this past year. So I still don't believe Ole Miss's defense is going to be great. I don't think LSU's defense will be elite, but I believe it'll be a lot better and help them win more games, like this one. Okay, then they go to Arkansas. If you've already seen my Arkansas prediction video, I've already given it, but I'll give it again. They go to Arkansas, they get the win, 30-24. Again, I think the defense helps them in this game to hold them to under 30 points, and that's still big considering how bad their defense was a year ago. So then they go to play Texas A&M. I think they win this one also 30-24. A very close game. Mike Elko's got heck of a lot of talent, but it's his first year. He's going to have to turn a program around that has not had a good culture, that's had a lot of issues with Jimbo Fisher. This is a game LSU could lose. It's back-to-back road games. You figure they could lose at Arkansas or Texas A&M or both. I think they win both these games back-to-back. And then they have their annual game with Alabama. Alabama does not have the same defensive coordinator or Nick Saban there. That will be a big loss for Alabama. They whooped Alabama 2 years ago in overtime with both Nick Saban and Bryce Young. It will be a lot easier. 45-24. Bama's offense falls apart with Jalen Milroe. LSU's defense steps up big in this game. Then they go at Florida. You already know how I feel about Napier running Florida. I think he's going to get fired after this year. But that will be the game where Kelly holds his team together. I think, look, even though Florida hasn't been good, one thing they have been able to do against defenses that have been proven to be not very good, that's run the football. They did that pretty well with LSU this past year and Missouri. I think this is a trap game for LSU, but I think they go to the Swamp at night and pull out a big win. LSU's defense will struggle because Napier is going to have his team ready to go, despite how not good of a coach I believe he is. They're going to play their hearts out just to try to keep him there. LSU wins 42-36. And then, of course, they have home wins over Vandy and Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a potential loss. I think Brent Venables is a great coach for Oklahoma, but because he's transitioning, it's one thing when you play Kansas State, Kansas, nothing against those teams, and Oklahoma State. It's a whole nother ballgame when you're dealing with the Auburns, Alabamas, and LSUs. LSU wins this game 28-27. I think it'll go down to a little bit of luck in this game. Oklahoma will have to kick a field goal, and they'll miss it or something like that, or gets blocked. LSU finishes 11-1, so there you have it. LSU's offense probably not quite as explosive, but still very good, very effective. Probably still a top 10 offense as it was this past year. Actually, the best offense in college football. And I think the defense makes a huge step forward and actually bails them out of some of these games. So that's pretty much it.